explaining the figures of speech used in the poem The Cold Within and a set of questions from the same poem. We don't have any previous year questions to be discussed, as it was not asked in the last two board papers, that is 2019 and 2020, but we don't want to ignore it. So I'm here to discuss a set of questions which I found in the ICSE specimen paper. Okay, so we'll start with the figures of speech. There are not many, only a few are there. So the first one, or the first thing you have to remember, it is like the poem is a narrative poem. Okay, narrative poem in the sense it tells a story. So here the poet is telling us a story. It is written in such a way. So that is the first thing you have to remember. Then about the other thing is that, okay, alliteration is being used in this poem. So I have explained alliteration in one of the previous sessions. So I'll just tell it once again if you have not listened to that video. So alliteration, it is a figure of speech in which you will have the close repetition of consonant sounds. So you have both consonants and vowels in English. Okay, so if you can find close repetition of consonant sounds in the adjacent words, or the words which are closely connected in a line, then you can say that it is alliteration. Okay, so here listen to this line: in bleak and bitter cold. So in that line you have the word bleak and bitter, so that b sound is repeated. So that is an example for alliteration. Then you also have four of the faces round the fire. So you have four of the faces round the fire, so that f sound is repeated. So this is also an example for alliteration. Now the next thing is personification. This also I have explained before, but again I am repeating. It is a figure of speech in which the inanimate objects or the abstract ideas are given or are endowed with human qualities or human characteristics. Okay, so if we put that in very simple way, you can say that if some non-living things are given the features or the qualities, what are the qualities of human beings? Like, we can speak, we can see, we can hear, we can touch, we can smell, we can feel. So all these things are there. These are all human qualities. So if these human qualities are attributed to a non-living thing or a abstract idea, then we can call it as personification. Okay, so listen to this example: their locks held tight in death's still hands. So death's still hands, we know that death, it is not a thing actually, it is an idea, right? An abstract idea. Like, we can't see it as a person, we can't touch it, but here it is written in death's still hands. So there the thing, or there the idea death is given human quality, so we can call it as personification. Then the next one, that is oxymoron. So it will be something very much new to you. Can you guess what it is, or do you have an idea? Anyway, I'll tell you. Oxymoron, so this is a figure of speech in which apparently contrasting terms appear in conjunction. Okay, that is two words which have entirely opposite meanings will come together. So if such a thing is found, then we can call it as oxymoron. Okay, so here, for example, or here in this poem, we have the oxymoron just in one place, that is the last man of this forlorn group. So we have seen the meaning of the word forlorn in the last video. No, I mean in the video in which we discussed the poem The Cold Within. So I told forlorn means lonely. Okay, it has a meaning lonely. So here see the words forlorn group. So it has opposite meanings. Group, being in a group doesn't make you lonely, right? So forlorn is lonely and group is the opposite. So these two words are put together. So we can call it as oxymoron. Okay. So these are the three figures of speech which I actually wanted to discuss with you. And now, okay, hope you all understood. Okay, right? If not, certainly you have to, I request you to put it in the comment box. So I'll give you clarifications later. Okay, fine. So now we will discuss the question answers. Okay, so here I have a set of 5 questions. So usually, as you know from poetry, you'll get 3 set of questions, and in each set you will have 5 questions each. In that, 4 questions will have 3 marks each, and the 5th question will be of 4 marks. So you'll be given an extract also. So let us check the question answers. So the questions are given based on this stanza. Listen to it. The last man of this forlorn group did not accept for gain, giving only to those who gave, was how he played the game. I'll read it once again. The last man of this forlorn group did not accept for gain, giving only to those who gave, was how he played the game. So that is the, let me count the number of stanzas. 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that is the 7th stanza. So now the questions are asked based on this stanza. So let us read the questions now. The first question, listen carefully. Why does the poet call the group forlorn? The next part, the first question has 3 parts. So the first part is, why does the poet call the group forlorn? Second part, who were the people who made up this group? And the third one, what did each of them possess? Okay, so let us try to answer the first part. That is, why does the poet call the group forlorn? So as we discussed a while before, forlorn means lonely or like sad, sorrowful. Okay, so here, or hopeless. Okay, that is also meaning of this word. So here, all the six people, they have that discriminatory feeling in their mind. Okay, in their minds. So, so even though they are in a group, still they feel lonely. Because they could not, or they are unable to overcome the barriers of class, race, religion, like all such things that divided them. So this group is considered to be forlorn, and that is why the poet called the group forlorn. So because of that discriminatory feelings, they are feeling lonely and they are unable to help each other or help themselves. Okay, this is why the poet is calling that group a forlorn one. Now we'll see the second part, that is, who were the people who made up this group. So we know that there were 6 people. The first one is a white woman. Okay, the second one is a bigot. Bigot means a person who is intolerant to those who are holding a different opinion. So when we saw the second man, it was written he was not ready to give the stick of wood to that fire just because he found that a man sitting in that group was not belonging to his church. That means he was not ready to accept a man who had a religious view which was different from that of his. So he can be called as a bigot, okay, or a person who is intolerant to different opinion or intolerant to the people who are holding a different opinion from that of his. Now the third person, it was a poor man. Then the fourth one, a rich man. Then the fifth one, a black man. And the sixth one was a very selfish and opportunistic man. So I hope you got the names of those people. It is given in the poem. But just to make the work easy for you, I'm telling that again. Okay. So the question was, who were the people who made up this group? So the answer is a white woman, a bigot, then a poor man, a rich, a black man, and a very selfish and opportunistic man. So these people made the group. Now let us see the third part of the question, that is what did each of them possess? So each of them possessed a stick of wood. Okay, so that is the first question, and this question carries 3 marks. Okay, again I am repeating, there is no need to write long essays, just give answer to the question that is being asked. Okay, don't go for writing long essays for this, don't write the whole summary for the question being asked. Understood? Okay, so now let us see the second question, that is what prevents the woman and the poor man in the group from sharing what they have? So if you want to note down, I'll just repeat it again. What prevents the woman and the poor man in the group from sharing what they have? So what can be the answer? I know you know the answer. Okay, it is the woman, when she looked around, she found that there was a black man in that group. Okay, so she was a white woman and thus she was not ready to help that black man. And similarly, when it came to the poor man, when he looked around, he found a man who was very rich. So according to poor man, a rich man is lazy, and the one who's living with the fruits of the poor man's labor, so he was not ready to help or he felt that if we give that log into the fire, then certainly that will help the rich man to survive. So he was not ready to donate his stick of wood. Okay, so this can be the answer for the second question. Now we'll check the third question. Why did the rich man sit back? What was his opinion of the poor? Once again, why did the rich man sit back? What was his opinion of the poor? So you can find the answer in which stanza? Yeah, in the 5th stanza. Okay, so the rich man sat back because he saw that one among the group was a poor. Then the next part, that is what was his opinion of the poor? So that is also there in the 5th stanza, that is he believed that the poor people were lazy and shiftless. So that is, they were lazy and they had no aim, they had no energy. Okay, this was his opinion of the poor. So yeah, that answer is also very simple. And now the 5th question, listen to it. This question carries 4 marks. So, and the question is a bit long. I'll read it. That is, what happens to this group of people at the end of the story? What could they have done to change their fate? Justify the title of the poem, The Cold Within. Okay, so the question is, what happens to this group of people at the end of the story? What could they have done to change their fate? Justify the title of the poem, The Call Within. So I hope you got the questions. Now I'll discuss the answer. The first part is very simple. It is, what happens to the group of people at the end of the story? So we know all of them died. They died with the logs held tightly in their hand. And now the second part is, what could they have done to change their fate? So in order to change their fate, they could have put their logs into the fire. So they could have rescued themselves and the others from the bitter cold. Okay, and now the third part, that is justify the title of the poem. Okay, this you have to write, or we have to write a bit on our own from our understanding of the poem. And it is so we can say it as the title, The Call Within. It is actually a symbol of lack of warmth and compassion in human beings. Okay, and as we, like, when we read the poem, we understood towards the end it was said that the people, they didn't die because of the cold outside. the reason for their death was the cold within. That meant or that means they didn't die because of the bitter cold or because of the climate. Okay, they died just because they were not ready to share their logs. Okay, they were not ready to donate that wood into the fire to keep that fire alive or keep themselves warm. Okay, and yeah, so none of them used the wooden stick and thus they died. So this title is an appropriate one for this poem. Okay, so in this way you can justify the title. So now yeah, take down the questions, try to answer the questions in your own words. If you have some sort of doubts, please put it in the comment box. I'll address all those doubts and I'll give you clarification in the coming sessions. So okay, so listen to the video and write the answers, and yeah, keep working, stay safe, stay home, be happy. Bye.